What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi did close 3% in the green, so pretty kick-ass day. It did close slightly below a key strike price, so I'm going to go over that and everything else. But 10.59 the low, 11.05 the high, and roughly 46 million shares being traded. So not all that bad in reality. So I think just across the board, there was a kind of lower volume today. So big money wasn't really paying attention to the broader market. Maybe they just want more clarity on tariffs and whatever else. But SoFi did put out news, and it was this. So SoFi secures 3.2 billion expansion to loan platform business across agreements with Fortress and Edge Focus. The man himself even did tweet about this. So this is good. Not I think it's kind of a move in the right direction, not on the same ambitious level as, for instance, Robinhood, but again, this should bring in some very much needed revenue. So again, pretty good stuff for SoFi. Data point wise, so we did have some pretty good data points. So we had permits and starts, somewhat mixed on that. For the initial jobless claims came in at 215,000, 227 the forecast. So in reality, good stuff. As Powell previously stated, he sees the economy as solid, just the only negative is tariffs. And that's actually what was being blasted. I feel like Trump was probably mentioned it like 50 times today. He's trying to find a way to fire Powell. So that seemed to have been a hot topic for social media today. So interesting to see how that is all playing out. But when it comes down to SoFi, closed right below that key strike price of $11, so closed at $10.98. And as you can kind of see, shorts did return 487,000 shares. 12.85% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 138.42 million shares overall are being shorted. And as you can kind of see based on this teal line, right near the end of the day, they just increased roughly 2 million shares. So this pull down right here most likely was attributed to shorts, their attempt at really bringing it down just so they don't have these kind of in the money options. Because looking at this, we have 9,000 at the $10 strike price, 5,000 at the 10.50, and then 16,000 at the 11. That works out to be 1.6 million shares. So unfortunately, the $11 strike price and above expires worthless. So that's kind of the negative side of that. But all in all, we've seen this happen time and time again. A lot of manipulation, shorts, market makers kind of work in tandem together. So let me know your general thoughts on that. But for the most part, shorts returning net 487,000 shares is relatively optimistic, kind of validating today's green day. And from what I've seen on social media, Trump did state that he's open and kind of willing to work with China. And supposedly China's reached out numerous times. I don't know if I actually believe that or not, but yeah, it's a waiting game. And luckily enough, it's a long weekend, so hopefully we don't hear any crazy crap over the weekend just to get everyone's blood boiling or stuff. Because last Saturday, for those of you that remember, we thought euphoria was going to come. We thought like the market's going to blow up like 100% and go up like craziness. And then Sunday, we just had that bubble pop. So we'll just have to wait and see how this all does play out. But based on the options, you did see this right here. So there was 10 million in calls, 4.3 million in puts. 54% of all the options being done today were optimistic in nature. And just between here, so 105 and 110, there was 2.6 million in premiums, and that's pretty much the exact same time frame as Trump did his speech at 1 o'clock. But if we kind of pop this open, orient it based on premium, so you see a lot of bullishness. So this is kind of opposite to what happened yesterday. So I did bring up that option, very negative, that was done yesterday. This one was very positive. I even posted this on the Discord, completely free, so you can go that check that out in the description below and also the comments. As soon as this posted, I brought this up because 1.27 million in premiums, one large transaction, and that was $13 strike price, and that is for May 16th 2025, insinuating that they feel it's going to be above 13. So their kind of price is going to be 13.38. So that's going to be their break even. So yeah, honestly, that's pretty kick-ass if you ask me. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. These are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. Big money definitely getting in today, 8.6 million. And in reality, even though you had a lot of this up and down throughout the trading day, I think a lot of that was being done from this dark pool, as well as just algorithmic trading, because based on this, like, you had a lot of buying. So big money was definitely paying attention to SoFi today. Always a good sign. These are all the transactions that did occur on the dark pool. So definitely was very active today. So this is what happened, and most likely where shorts hit a lot of their transactions and just a lot of the bearish entities. But with it closing at $10.98, it was able to fight and get above that S1 of $10.91. So going into next week, things should be fairly a-okay. So let me know your viewpoint, and if you bought the dip, or if you sold, or if you did anything. I didn't do anything with SoFi. I still have my this is on a side note, my portfolio I did make through roughly like 90 grand or something like that. I started just dollar cost averaging. So I'm just trying to stick with, for the most part, profitable companies plus Lucid. I think that's the only non-profitable among here. But yeah, I'm just going to be dollar cost averaging. So far, I'm up 17.54% with SoFi. So I'm pretty, oh, actually, sorry, that's 9.19. I don't know where it got that 17 from. Maybe something's happening. I don't know. But beside the point, I'm up with that. So stay tuned for more transactions and what I do. And so the only thing I did do today was I just kind of swung trade AMD. So I did buy at roughly 87, sold at 87.50. Pretty easy money if you ask me. But aside from that, I didn't do any options or anything like along those lines. And on the actual chart itself, though, it did close above that ALMA. So going into next week, $11.47 will be a key point. But stay tuned for my video over the weekend where I go over some expectations, things that you need to know, levels, and so forth. But yeah, I think this was a pretty good way to close out the week. So that does leave it pretty flat. Shows 0.09. So yeah, let me know your general thoughts on SoFi. Did you buy the dip recently? Did you sell? What's your kind of general thoughts on just the market, SoFi, and everything else? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.